Absolute censorship. This is what Spain is going through right now with Letizia's cheating and King Felipe's alleged being gay. It is incredible how Spain has regressed to Franco time, or even it's worse, because at least Franco would allow people to publish stuff and they just got punished. But now the whole thing is quiet. Yes, Letizia, the cheating queen, and Felipe, the gay king. Why is everybody so quiet about it? And the scandal gets worse because there's new pictures, new videos, new audios out there. And yet Spain is all quiet about it. And let's not forget Letizia's family, because they're all in on this grift. So let's get started. Okay, beautiful people? For most of you who are just tuning in, first of all, I want to say thank you for subscribing, liking, and sharing. Don't forget to buy the merch. But most of you who are in the English-speaking world in my channel don't have very much knowledge about this story that's going on right now. But we have this gentleman, Jaime del Burgo, who, through a very prestigious reporter, gave information to Mr. Jaime Peñafiel to write a book, which is brutal. But Jaime del Burgo is still angry with Mr. Jaime Peñafiel because he didn't publish everything he told him. So he's dead set on publishing a book of his own called Nothing But the Truth. Now, this is a man, Jaime del Burgo, who was having an affair with Letizia before she was queen, during her marriage to King Felipe, well, back then Prince Felipe, and after. Now, Letizia was having an affair, was involved with 4 men when she was dating Felipe. And she got an abortion in 2002, allegedly, in October 2002, which that would have disqualified her from marrying Felipe, or at least it would have, if Felipe had been honest to the church and to the Spanish state, that would have forced him to abdicate in favor of his sister Elena. But he didn't. He was an accomplice to Letizia's abortion. This is not about the legality, whether it was legal or not. This is about the fact that the Catholic Church excommunicates people who have abortions, period. So Letizia and Felipe knew that, and they kept it quiet. Now, Letizia, as a very malignant narcissist that, in my very opinion, she is, knows how to make people accomplices to her deeds. She got her cousin, David Rocasolano, to go and retrieve the medical records of her abortion from the clinic and ask him to destroy it. But him, being as sneaky as she is, instead of destroying the medical records, he kept them and then published them in a book called Goodbye Princesa Letizia. Now, this gentleman, her cousin, has been sentenced to jail for 18 months for publishing private information, not for lying, for disclosing private information. I'm a little bit torn about it because Letizia did give him authorization to grab those medical records. Anyways, so Letizia has been having an affair with Mr. Jaime del Burgo. She even brought him to the castle. They've been officially living in New York together. And Letizia has been popping by to Spain just to do the official duties. She has even neglected her 2 daughters. She has not raised her 2 daughters because she's been living with Jaime del Burgo in New York and traveling the world. Okay? So for her, she's very much like Meghan Markle, because to Letizia, to people like Letizia and Meghan Markle, children are a tool of extortion, a tool of manipulation. So this is what we're dealing with right now. Now, the interesting part of it all is that Mr. Jaime in 2013, there was a scandal in Mallorca. Everybody attributed that scandal to, she left, usually they're a Spanish royal family, they vacation in Mallorca. And they go together and they leave together. But Letizia left all of a sudden in 2013, and it was attributed to oh, she can't stand King Felipe, King Juan Carlos, because he's a cheater. Girl, kettle, pot. She's worse than King Juan Carlos, because at least King Juan Carlos never brought the lovers to the castle and had sex with them and had a room for them, and they didn't call the lover's aunt like her daughters used to call her lover uncle. I mean, this is just terrible. This is just terrible. So in 2013, apparently, that's why she left. But it's now come out that actually that's when Felipe suspected that she was cheating with with her friend Jaime del Burgo. Now, why is this important? A lot of people have said that King Felipe, the now King Felipe, was aware of her cheating, and this is an agreement, and he's gay, and they have this understanding. Letizia signed an ironclad prenuptial agreement whereby she gets money, 2 homes and servants and stuff like that, but she loses all royal titles. Absolutely no royal titles for Letizia. So she goes back to being Letizia Ortiz Rocasolano, which is something that she doesn't want to be. Now the lawyer, because her lover, Jaime del Burgo, is a lawyer. He was introduced to Felipe as her best friend. He didn't know that she had a relationship other than friendship, because she introduced him as her lawyer because he went over the prenuptial agreement with Letizia. He was intimately involved. He was very involved in that prenuptial agreement. He was even a witness to the royal wedding, because he was introduced to Felipe and the royal household as a very good friend of the family. He even financed the clothing for Leticia's entire family to the wedding, because they couldn't even afford to dress properly for the wedding, because Letizia comes from an incredibly poor background. Okay, this is a woman who partied like crazy, who's allegedly by lovers, former lovers, said that she's violent, physically and verbally violent. She's absolutely controlling. She controls everybody and manipulates people. So this is how this man was introduced to Felipe, and there is absolutely no way that her mother, Paloma Rocasolano, and her sisters and brother, and her sisters and father and grandparents didn't know what was going on, because they all have been complicit in this. I'm very torn as to whether Felipe knew or not, because I've made an argument here with this. Oh, the reason why, apparently, this is what's been said. The reason why Letizia dumped Jaime del Burgo in 2013, yes, because she was living with him in New York. They were even planning on having children together through a surrogate. Was because King Juan Carlos abdicated, which gave her suddenly the opportunity to become queen. Many people have said, oh, she had no choice but to stay with Felipe. No, Letizia has always had the freedom to leave, clearly because she was living with her lover in New York, traveling to Greece, Croatia, everywhere. Okay, she was, I said, he even had a room inside Zarzuela, which is the castle in Spain. He spent night there. They had sex there. He has videos of her and photos of her doing the deed. So, and this is where things fall apart for me. If Felipe was in agreement with this affair and was part of it and was okay with it, why would Jaime del Burgo need to marry Leticia's sister, Telma? Leticia's sister, Telma, as a charade to pacify Felipe, if indeed Felipe was not only aware of it, but was okay with it. They wouldn't have needed to do that. They wouldn't have needed to do that because Felipe was okay. Nobody knew. Everybody was being blamed on King Juan Carlos, how awful he was, and how Letizia couldn't stand him. So I disagree that Felipe knew, that Felipe encouraged it. Because Felipe is a very discreet man. And he wouldn't have encouraged that kind of thing because he would have been terrified of it being made public. And Letizia dumped Jaime del Burgo when things were found out. Jaime del Burgo rushed to marry Telma. They were married for 2 years, and then they got divorced. And then he went back to being Uncle Jaime at Zarzuela, the castle in Spain, and friends with Felipe. Once they thought that they had pacified Felipe's mind. And then Letizia went back to being the loving woman that she never was, because she's incredibly abusive, physically and verbally, allegedly, towards Felipe. Now, what it's really telling here is that Jaime del Burgo just ousted Letizia. And people are saying that Letizia is saying, oh, come and get me out, La Zarzuela, as though she's a victim. Letizia can leave anytime, but she's gotten a taste for what it's like to be queen. And she's actually blackmailing Felipe, in my very humble opinion, into renegotiating the prenuptial agreement because she does not want to be divorced and go back to being Letizia Ortiz Rocasolano, a below average D-list celebrity who was plucked from obscurity from a TV network as an anchor. Not even an anchor. She used to say some news. That's what happened with her. She's very much like Meghan Markle, plucked from obscurity. She's had so much plastic surgery done, so much Botox done, because she's obsessed with herself. You know, at the same time, I think she hates, or she wants to erase the fact that she came from a very poor background. She did study, but she's incredibly vulgar. I've met her. She was incredibly vulgar to everybody at the diplomatic reception, even to her husband. She humiliates him in public. Don't know why. Now, if Jaime del Burgo has exposed her and is causing so much chaos that there are people saying, oh, the doctors are coming to La Zarzuela to look after Letizia because she's falling apart. Why would she still be talking to him daily on the phone? Why would she still be having communications with her lover? Now, the scary part of it all is that a lot of people have said that King Felipe is gay. I have my doubts. I've met the man 3 times. Granted, I didn't party with, I 2 times I spoke with him extensively when he was on a state visit, and then another one when he was on vacation and we were supposed to show him around. And the third one was when I met him at Zarzuela again, years later. He doesn't strike me as gay. And given how everything gets exposed nowadays, there would have been at least a picture, videos of him out there. And I believe that even if he's gay, he wouldn't share it with Letizia, because a lot of people are saying that he's gay. And I do believe that this is a rumor expressed by Letizia. Maybe I'm wrong. Now, one of the interesting parts here is that Jaime del Burgo, who wants to write the book, Nothing But the Truth, because now he's turned on Felipe, calling his family trashy and terrible and blah, blah, blah. Jaime del Burgo is a criminal and a hypocrite because he was not calling King Felipe and his family criminals and terrible family while he was sleeping in Zarzuela, the castle, enjoying the perks and privileges of being at the castle, enjoying taking vacations with King Felipe and his family, enjoying the fame of being seen with the King of Spain, or well, the Prince of Spain and then King of Spain. He enjoyed the fruits of that friendship. He wasn't complaining then. He's complaining now because I believe that he's extorting King Felipe because him and Letizia want to renegotiate those terms. People say, oh, he has a lot of money. Not that much money. He's not a billionaire. Letizia is used to the kind of life of a queen, literally a queen. And Letizia is not going to be happy to be in with Mrs. del Burgo. when she can be Queen Letizia of Spain? Letizia, Queen of Spain? Well, kind of downgrade. So people are going on saying that Felipe is gay. There are legitimate questions to be raised whether those children are Felipe's, because she was screwing Jaime del Burgo at the same time. However, I don't know if you're aware of this, but Letizia had a sister, Erika, who killed herself. Very sad. Apparently, there are rumors that she donated eggs and that they were implanted inside Letizia, because they are saying that Felipe never slept with his wife and everything was done in vitro. And this is what, and then Erika was not allowed to see the girls that she felt were her daughters. But I don't know how far-fetched that is, but you know, there's a lot going on right now. Because Letizia, when Erika killed herself, she tried to take away her daughter from the father, and the father fought her on. And apparently there were a lot of issues because Erika was not willing to go along with the grift. Now, many people have said, but why? Why would Felipe not say anything? Because I believe that when we're in love, we see what we want to see. And I fully believe that Letizia Rocasolano and her entire family were lying to the king. Letizia successfully isolated King Felipe and turned him against his own family, because that's what malignant narcissists do. Now, Jaime del Burgo is not content with all the scandal and the pain he's causing Felipe. Now he's angry. And he's angry because the press is absolutely quiet. So he's published more videos, more pictures of them in London, because yes, Letizia went a lot to London with Jaime del Burgo. They traveled everywhere with bodyguards, by the way. And then Jaime del Burgo wasn't complaining. So these audios are out. Six more pictures are out. I can't publish them here because, you know, that's how bad the censorship again in this thing is. And you know what the sticky part of it all is? That yes, Letizia did sign a prenuptial agreement. And in the prenuptial agreement, there's a clause of confidentiality, non-disclosure agreement. So if anything leaks out that could have only come from her, she will lose everything. Forget the 2 homes, the money. I mean, she already, as it is, she will not get absolutely any titles, as it should be. Maybe the royal family, British royal family, can learn from that. Because this is a woman who now they're claiming that Jaime del Burgo is really angry because he found out that she was cheating on him with another man. I mean, and Letizia, when she went to Mexico, she supposedly went under the guise of studying a master's, which she never finished because she was screwing her way through Mexico. And she got pregnant from a very high executive in Mexico. And because during that time in Mexico, abortion was illegal, she quickly flew Mexico back to Spain to have yet another abortion. So we know that she's had at least 2 abortions. And people at the time when I criticized her when she got married, because I said, this is not good. Something is off. People and the press aggrandized this woman, made her bigger than she was, just like with Meghan Markle. I wonder if malignant narcissism, like women like Meghan and Letizia have, in my very humble opinion, it's a sort of breed, it's a sort of race in its own, because God, the pattern, the behavior is exactly the same. The difference is that one got to be queen, and we've seen what she's done with it. And Meghan hasn't. But even with that small role, we just saw her pop by in Jamaica. So what do you guys think? I mean, these 6 pictures are going to be terrible. And I'm going to be here for it, because now her sister Thelma, the one that was married to Jaime del Burgo, she was interviewed saying, oh no, Leticia's the best sister, the best queen. Of course she's going to say that. If she's part of the grift of lying to King Felipe with the pretense of her marriage to Jaime del Burgo in order to justify Jaime del Burgo being around and to shut down the information that Felipe got that she was screwing that Letizia was screwing Jaime del Burgo. She is part of that group. Paloma Rocasolano, Leticia's mother of my daughter, they're all in on the grift. But yet, he's still with her. They're still backing her. They just fired the 92-year-old reporter that wrote the book. This is a 92-year-old man. And you know what makes it worse? That Letizia is a newspaper reporter. She's a journalist. And yet she is full on censoring the press and the entire country of Spain, or the Kingdom of Spain. So please leave me your comments, and we're going to be here for this. We're going to be here for this. And I'm going to have a live next Monday with Laura Rodriguez from, which is Español en Casa, to discuss this very same theme, because there's a lot more information. Now Felipe is gay. Now Felipe is being blackmailed. The sister, Letizia's sister, spoke out, the one that was married to her lover, because of course everybody's covering up. Everybody's covering up.